Robert Downey Jr. may be known today as Iron Man, the comeback king of Hollywood. But before the fame, his life was chaos, addiction, arrests, and scandals that nearly destroyed him. To fans, he's a hero, but insiders remember a man who spiraled out of control. And once you know his story, you'll never see Robert Downey Jr. the same way again. In the 1990s, Robert was one of Hollywood's brightest young stars, but behind the fame, he was drowning. His addictions to drugs and alcohol spiraled out of control, landing him in rehab again and again. Studios hesitated to hire him, directors feared he wouldn't show up to set, and his career began to crumble. Arrest after arrest made headlines, with mugshots splashed across tabloids. He wasn't the charming star then, he was the cautionary tale. Whispers spread that his talent was wasted, that he'd never recover, that Hollywood had lost him for good. At the height of his addiction, even his closest friends thought Robert was finished. Robert's scandals weren't just rumors, they were public record. He was arrested multiple times for drug possession, found with heroin, cocaine, and even a pistol in his car. He served time in county jail and later in a California state prison after repeatedly failing probation. The most infamous moment? When he was found passed out in a neighbor's house after breaking in. The tabloids feasted on his downfall, painting him as Hollywood's ultimate lost cause. To fans, it was shocking. To insiders, it was the end of a career that had once promised greatness. By the late 1990s, Robert was considered unemployable. Insurance companies refused to back films with him attached, meaning studios wouldn't take the risk. Even though his performances were brilliant, his unpredictability made him a liability. Whispers in Hollywood meetings said his name was blacklisted, and casting directors stopped returning his calls. He lost roles, lost millions, and almost lost the industry he grew up in. For a time, Robert wasn't a star, he was a warning. The kind of actor people pointed to when talking about wasted talent. His personal life mirrored the chaos of his career. His first marriage to Deborah Falconer collapsed under the weight of his addictions. Their son, Indio, grew up while his father was in and out of jail and rehab. Later, whispers of unstable relationships and affairs added more fuel to the tabloids. Friends tried to help, but even they admitted Robert pushed people away when he was at his lowest. To the world, he was a fallen star. To those closest to him, he was a man they loved but couldn't save. When Robert finally turned his life around, Hollywood embraced his comeback as a miracle. Landing the role of Tony Stark in Iron Man resurrected his career and turned him into a global superstar. But whispers never fully disappeared. Some say he only got the chance because powerful friends vouched for him. Others argue his redemption arc is exaggerated, hiding just how dark his past truly was. Even as Iron Man, he carried the scars of his old life, whispers of relapse, strict contracts, and studios keeping him on a tight leash. To fans, he's proof that comebacks are possible. To critics, he's a reminder that Hollywood forgives only when the money's right. So who is Robert Downey Jr. really? The beloved Iron Man, or the troubled actor who once lost everything to addiction? His past of drugs, arrests, jail time, and broken relationships paints a darker picture than the one Marvel fans adore. Maybe that's why people love him, because he's not flawless. He's a man who fell hard, burned bridges, and somehow built them back again. But one truth remains. The Robert Downey Jr. we see today stands on the ashes of the man he used to be. And those ashes still whisper the story Hollywood will never forget. To the world, Beyonce is flawless. Queen Bey, the icon of perfection, power, and music. But even the brightest crowns carry cracks. Behind the stage lights and billion-dollar empire, whispers of scandals and secrets never fade. And once you hear them, you'll never see Beyonce the same way again. The queen who looks untouchable on stage may be fighting shadows in silence. And those shadows tell a story the world was never meant to know. In 2014, the world watched one of Beyonce's darkest family moments play out in an elevator. Security footage leaked showing her sister, Solange Knowles, physically attacking Jay-Z while Beyoncé stood by silently. No context, no explanation, just shocking violence that left fans with endless questions. Whispers spread about infidelity, about Beyoncé knowing more than she let on, about a family rift hidden under polished smiles. The elevator fight became one of Hollywood's biggest mysteries, And to this day, Beyoncé has never revealed the full truth. To the world, it was shocking. To insiders, it was proof that even the perfect Knowles Carter family hides chaos behind closed doors. Beyoncé and Jay-Z are considered music's power couple, but their marriage has faced storms that nearly destroyed it. Jay-Z's alleged cheating scandal became the subject of Beyoncé's explosive album Lemonade. Songs full of rage, betrayal, and heartbreak painted the picture of a woman scorned, but also a woman who chose to stay. Insiders whispered about secret affairs, hidden mistresses, and private battles that never reached the public. The world saw forgiveness and strength, but critics saw strategy. Some argued the scandal was turned into art, fueling record sales and saving an empire. To fans, it was empowerment. To skeptics, it was a business move disguised as heartbreak. Behind the scenes, Beyoncé has earned a reputation as a perfectionist, and not always in a good way. Former staff members and backup dancers have described strict rules, icy behavior, and contracts that demand silence. Stories of last-minute firings, diva-like demands, and lawsuits from ex-employees paint a different picture than the warm, glowing goddess fans adore. Insiders whisper she keeps her circle painfully small, surrounding herself only with those who are loyal beyond question. To some, it's professionalism. To others, it's control. Either way, Beyoncé doesn't just run her career. She rules it with an iron fist. Though Beyoncé rarely speaks publicly about drama, her career has been marked by feuds and rivalries. From her complicated history with Destiny's Child members to rumored tension with Rihanna, whispers of competition follow her everywhere. The Nicki Minaj versus Beyoncé comparisons, the silent rivalry with other female powerhouses. Beyoncé never addresses them, but fans and insiders claim the silence is strategic. She lets her art and her image speak while keeping the claws hidden. But behind the silence, insiders say the battles are very real, and Beyoncé plays them smarter than anyone else. More than any other star, Beyoncé has mastered image control. Every photo, every video, every appearance is curated. Paparazzi shots are filtered, unflattering pictures are wiped from the internet, and her team fiercely protects her brand. Insiders whisper about non-disclosure agreements, strict contracts, and even photographers being banned from concerts to prevent unapproved images from leaking. To fans, it's just her protecting her art. To critics, it's an obsession proof that Beyoncé is less a person and more a carefully maintained product. Her power isn't just in her voice, it's in her control over what the world is allowed to see.